Hey, good Friday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy W. Hudson, the voiceover with personality. It is the Voiceover Weekly Stew, live on LinkedIn, live at least 2 places on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live, I'm not sure where else, but that's probably enough for one live anyway. Multicasting live streaming via Restream right now from the magnificent Padded Room Green Studios in Columbia, South Carolina. It is Friday. It is the very last Friday in August. It is, welcome to it. Yes, welcome to what may be the last official, unofficial weekend of summer. I know that Labor Day is kind of weird this year because it's like September 7th. So you get like an entire extra pseudo week of summer, even though fall doesn't officially come around South Carolina till probably October, November, as far as temperatures are concerned. But nonetheless, it is a gorgeous Friday. It is a wonderful Friday. I hope you are doing well. I am doing well. I am doing extremely well. I feel much, much better than I did, let's say, the early part of August. I know that last week, some of you, the 5 of you who tuned in, thank you, live, watched me kind of send out a video that was more of, I don't know if you'd call it a rant or a personal intervention. I'm not really sure. Oops, caught myself freezing. That's not a freeze. But it was basically saying how overworked and overwhelmed I was. And I used the term, although it wasn't an appropriate term, burnout, because I had been working 12, 14-hour days, multiple days, all through the weekend, and there was no end in sight. And so I was basically, the only reason I did last week's video was simply to keep up with not missing a week, because I was so swamped with work that I really had nothing more to say than say, hey, I'm swamped with work. This week has been amazing. I still had a very busy work week in the voiceover realm. Thursday was weird, though it was sort of an anomaly. And because it was, I think I had, looking on my calendar, I had like 2 projects that day, and they were short, small projects, and the rest of the day was just kind of wide open. It was very bizarre because literally Saturday, Sunday, part of Sunday, I'm thinking like last Saturday, the 22nd, rolling all the way through, even on Sunday, last Sunday I was working. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was crazy, although I didn't have to work at night and the hours weren't as bad. Thursday was just like, it was like this breath of fresh air that came in. It's like the Lord just said, Troy, just take it easy. Catch up on a couple of things you need to do. And I said, Lord, thank you so much. I didn't freak out because there's a vacuum in my calendar. What's going on? No way did I do that. So what I did was I actually unboxed my brand new HP Officejet 3830 all-in-one printer. And here's proof. It worked. Yeah, baby. 4 pages of notes here that I will get through quickly. But I wanted to be organized. And so, yeah, I actually have a printer that prints and cartridges that work. And this all-in-one bad boy is pretty good. It's the HP Officejet 3830 all-in-one printer. The reason I was glad about Thursday, it took me 2 stinking hours to set up the silly thing. I'm not going to call it stupid because it's an incredibly smart all-in-one printer. It scans, it prints, of course, and it's also a fax, which is short for facsimile machine. Kids, look it up. Back in the day, faxing was a pretty hot way to communicate. And very rarely, I can't remember the last time I faxed something, but I can do it. So, hey, if anybody needs something faxed, I probably should charge by the page. But for now, I know I've got it in case I need it. So, yeah, it took me 2 hours to set it up because there were all sorts of menus. I had to download an app to my phone, which really cool. That I wonder if I'll get any crazy sort of feedback if I do this. Yeah, let's see. I get any crazy sort of feedback? Oh, there I am looking at myself on the screen. Yeah, there I am looking at myself on the screen. That's pretty weird. Yeah, anyway. I had to download the app on my phone, the HP app. And then I had to download the drivers on my Mac. And then it talked me through how to set up all the menus. On top of that, here's the manual. Yes, I actually read the manual in setting up the HP Officejet 3830 All-in-One series. No, I'm not getting any affiliate payments from this. I just happen to think it's a pretty cool printer. And it was challenging because it took me 2 hours to do it. And I'm really not sure why. I mean, I read the instructions. I don't know what could have gone wrong. Botón de encendido enciende o apaga la impresora. I didn't quite get that, so I continued on. Botón inicio vuelve a la pantalla inicio que se muestra al encender la impresora por primera vez. And then I turned to the English side, and it made more sense. But nonetheless, I did read the instructions, which is unusual for me, but it really did need to do it because it's so cool. It's got so many features on it, including that fax machine, which I almost want to find a fax number just to send it out to see if they got it. This is a test fax cover page. Kids, again, look it up. A facsimile machine. It's pretty wild indeed. Personal notes. I mentioned I was feeling 100% better than I was a couple. There you go. So I was feeling pretty sick. I was still working. I was sequestered in the padded room, not going out, but I was still working, thankfully, because the throat was a little scratchy, but I was able to push through and get a lot of work done. And toward the end of this, you'll find out just how much work I got done. So I went and got a COVID test, like a responsible citizen should do. And I tested negative on the 15th of August. So that was strange, but the only thing I didn't have, and some of you may or may not have had symptoms and can relate to this, is I didn't have the loss of taste or smell. And I know some people that have had that and did test positive. But I didn't have that. But every other thing lined up with the symptoms on the CDC site. Roger Leopardi. Hello, my friend. Man, I can't say enough good stuff about Roger. I mean, you're wondering why I said that. Roger just stopped in to say hi. Hi to Roger. Thanks, my man. I cannot tell you how much I have learned from this gentleman over the past few months on a professional level in voiceover as well as a personal level as well. He and his wife, absolutely amazing, wonderful people, have blessed me in many ways with teaching and with just, I'm involved with Roger and his wife and a number of other people in a Wednesday night Bible study that started a few weeks ago. And it is amazing. And they are amazing, an amazing couple, along with all the other folks involved. Oh, finish the story. Yeah, I do. I tend to get distracted. Finish the story. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Oh, I tested negative for COVID. So, yeah, on the 15th. So I'm feeling pretty darn good. I'm also hiking again. I just wrapped up today, day 20 of what I got going on, which is my hashtag. Did I just say hashtag? I did. Hashtag 5656 challenge, where I'm basically doing, because I'm 56, I thought it was kind of clever. I'm doing 5.6 miles at least a hike for 56 days straight. And while it's like, oh yeah, you do a walk and a hike for 56 days straight, how hard is that? Well, when it's raining, sweetheart, it's not too pleasant. When it is, when it's anything unpleasant, I'm going to go with rain. That's about the only unpleasant thing that we have other than the humidity and heat in South Carolina these days. That was kind of tough. A couple of days of rain and threats of rain, but I have just enjoyed it. I've discovered some really interesting places to walk. And the main thing, the reason I started it was I was so out of balance with work, life, and not life, then work, that honestly, I just came up with something to do that I could focus on and stick to and be persistent or consistent with. And so, yeah, that's the reason I started doing it. It's hashtag 5656 challenge. I post a live video on Instagram every day, either in the middle of the walk or at the tail end of the walk, and just kind of give a wrap up of where I was and what I'm doing. And so if you want to check it out on my IG page, Troy W. Hudson _VO. I think that's the name on my Instagram account. I don't know. Work. So a lot of you are like, I don't care what you do in your personal time. Tell me about some of the stuff you do. Share some of your projects. Watson is like, whatever, I'm into the hike thing. He's been with me on all but two. Anyway, work. I counted 27 projects this past week from Saturday till today, from 23 different clients this past week, from 8/22 to 28, which is really cool. So it's not just from a couple of clients sending me this work. 27 projects, 23 different clients, several corporate financial projects, a restaurant commercial, 2 game Kickstarters, one for a soccer game, and one with orangutans who survive on stinky durian fruit. Apparently, when loggers come into areas into the area where the orangutans live, there's this really stinky fruit that grows on a durian tree that is so offensive that it chased the loggers out. I'm not making this stuff up. This was part of the game Kickstarter, and it was kind of an interesting fact. So 2 games I did Kickstarter voiceovers for, a medical how-to on how to use catheters, and that was fun. Goofy character voices, several. Phone messages, project highlighting a National Science Foundation Award featuring 10 colleges and universities in South Carolina, which I was proud to do. But I got to tell you, it was the hardest, most technically challenging voiceover I've ever done. I rank it as at the top. It took all day to do 3,000 words, and the reason was, and this was after getting a cheat sheet or a help sheet from not the producer, but the client, who was a scientist, a doctor, if that tells you anything. And it was talking about the names of some of the equipment. And these folks don't give a simple name. They don't have simple names in the science world. This was like so crazy long, and there was 3,000 words full of this. And there were so many terms I did not understand. I had to look up. I had to get help on. It took me all day long to do this 3,000 words. But at the end of the day, the client had only one. That's right, only one revision. So that was very cool. And the production company joked that I should have charged by the syllable. I'll have to consider that the next time. I need a syllable counter somewhere along the way. Roger just chimed in and he said, my nightmare. Yes, scientific. He's Mr. Commercial. This man is definitely, he's like I don't want to go about Roger. It's about me today, okay? All right. In addition, I did 2 very long e-learning scripts for Energy World Net. And if you're wondering, hey, Troy, what's that colorful hat you have on? Well, it is the official Energy World Net black hat that I wear in honor of 2 incredible weeks of e-learning voiceovers. Energy World Net, EWN, based out in Decatur, Texas. You guys have just put shoes on my feet this week. You guys have filled the coffers. You guys have just done amazing by me. And I'm so blessed to be able to work with this group right here, Energy World Net. About a half hour, 45 minutes ago, I was prepping for this thing. I don't like to do more than an hour's worth of prep because if it takes longer than that, then I feel like it's a distraction from the work. So anyway, half hour, 45 minutes ago, I checked my mail late in the afternoon, and I pull out of the mail a nice, did I still have it in here? Yeah. Pull out a nice check from them for 2 weeks' work. And let's just say the bank said, are you planning on using this right away? To which I said, you want to put a hold on it, don't you? And to which they said, yes, sir, just a few days because of the amount. And I was just like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. So I'm not going to share the amount, but I want to, just let you know that there's some folks that I just love to work with. And EWN is one of those. Well, this may not happen. She may leave, so I think I want to try. Not sure which way now I want to get this. I'm not sure which way it's pointing, so I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Yeah, I got it turned around right. Miss Ellie Mae. Which end of that is you? Ellie, come here, sweetheart. Ellie, say hi. Yes, you sweet girl. Yes, and there's Watson on the floor. He's tired because he's been walking. Ellie has been kind of standoffish, and she just has not been walking. Hey, sweetie, come here. Come here. Look at me. Look at the folks. You're live. Yeah, watch your mouth. Yep, there's Ellie and Watson. They are in the studio today, and they're helping me out. So, yeah. They're always welcomed in here, except when I'm recording. When I'm editing, Watson will kind of position himself right there and snooze. Ellie will come in and sniff, and they're actually just kind of chilling right now. So that's just a little visit from the Goldens, which I know people would rather see them a lot of times than, tune in and watch me. I get it. I totally get it. They're good-looking dogs. So anyway, where was I at? E-learning. Yeah, EWN. So, yes, so blessed to be able to work with folks like that. What I want to do right now is share what I'm calling the project share, because I'm sharing a project. I'm going to bounce over to Adobe Audition. I had the honor and privilege to work with a group of programmers called the Sixth Hammer. Like the sixth is always a fun word to say in the middle of a script. The Sixth Hammer is competing, or was competing, I think that because of the time zone difference of about 6 hours, in a Europlay independent video game developer contest, as I understood it. I probably don't have the name right, but it is Europlay, and the game designers and developers hired me, I guess it was about a year ago, maybe, and I did the main character voice of the captain of this ship, and the game is called Moolander. Moo, meaning like cows, and apparently, well, I can't do justice to explaining it. So let me just play this video. I believe this is the trailer that's on their Facebook page, which kind of highlights some of the art and the music and the sound effects and some of my voice work, along with the AI guy. And so here it is, the trailer to Moolander.
Hamilton, some beast is looking at us.
We've lost a few parts during your landing, sir.
Just chill, Hamilton. I got this. Whoa, Hamilton, Mars is one heck of a planet.
Sir, we found our guns.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready to fight. Turn up the battle track.
Yeah, I love it. Basically, milk is like a hot commodity on this planet in this game. And the bull with the, I think that was, maybe it had to be a cow. I'm not sure. Anyway, Moolander, put out by Sixth Hammer. These are Bulgarian game developers. And so some of the dialogue was hilarious. And they just said I know everything, and just talk like this, and it never fails. So yeah, Ellie's out of the room and in the other room barking now, wanting to go out. Wait for it, sweetheart. Thanks for chiming in, Roger. You have a great, fantastic weekend, man. Let me see. So yeah, that I did go online and vote for him, by the way. Here Here's kind of a behind-the-scenes story of how the game was made. It is phenomenal. I had no idea just how much went into developing a game. All the different people, you figure programmers and some artists, but these guys take it to a whole nother level. And again, it was such a privilege to be able to do this. They hired me to go ahead and do the voice for the submission to Europlay as well. So this is that video.
The Sixth Hammer is composed of passionate game developers who've been working on Moolander for more than 3 years now. We're based in Bulgaria with team members from all around the world and are proud to say we're fully self-funded. Moolander will bring a unique adventure to your PC and console where you take control over your civilization's last remaining spaceship, scouring the unknown for the legendary milk generator device. Tame the mighty cow bosses, fight with intelligent life forms, unlock unique tactical and combat abilities in the exciting campaign full of memorable characters and plot twists. Continue fighting as a mighty cow in our couch multiplayer. You are the last hero who can save his dying civilization. Emotional scenes, interesting plot twists, and self-recorded orchestral music will enrich your experience. You take active part in the story by making meaningful choices and branching dialogues. The highlight of the game are the mighty ancient cow battles. The cow brain is powered by a sophisticated AI with lightning speed reactions, enhancing the boss battles. You'll encounter different cow species, each with a unique set of deadly abilities. Our great variety of combat with many strategic approaches. Unlock a number of abilities while progressing, further customizable by unlockable upgrades, and make your own unique combat build. Our beautiful handcrafted levels are the work of 3 different artists on 3 continents and are inspired by games like Ori and Rayman. Adding dynamic lighting and challenging puzzles to the mix creates an unforgettable experience. What's a fun game without a family-friendly competition? Enjoy couch multiplayer for up to 4 players with different PvP and PvE modes. Brutal combats, unlockable roles, cow chases, and you can even play as the cow. We'll finish the game by the end of this year. An Xbox port is ready with PlayStation and Switch waiting in line. We have a big DLC in the works, ready to go next year.
Now I know I'm back on. So I love the cows. Moolander, again, Sixth Hammer. Hope you guys win that Europlay Award. The thing that really astounded me, all the stuff that these guys sitting there creating this stuff, was the original composition by one of the guys that I directed my voiceover session at the piano. The talent involved, not only, talk about right, left brain. I'm just blown away by some of the folks I get to work with. Here he is, a very talented programmer, designer, a game designer, programmer. I'm probably not getting the terms right. I know it said on the website he is a programmer. But at the same time, he's got this incredible musical ability, a very creative process, in addition to the whole analytical thinking. And I'm so blessed to be able to work with some super talented people. Now, I'm going to try something that was not working earlier. I'm hoping it's going to work now. I wanted to share a couple of projects that I did, but they're just audio only, and they're in Adobe Audition. So I'm going to jump over here to Audition and see if it will play when I hit play. So let's find. Now I think it will. Let me go back. Yes. Okay. I think it will. Yeah. All right. I think I got it figured out. It's an eCam thing, and it was not showing my audio source to play out of Audition. Anyway, this next thing I want to share are a couple of online game show intros. I worked with this client. It's a Fiverr client, and they've got these online games, and they want it to be. They give me the directions. They want it to sound like a game show, and it can't be more than 15 seconds. And they want sound effects, and they want music, and the lines, obviously have to time out right. And so that's the only direction they give me. So I can be wild and wacky, I can be Guy Smiley, I can be Bob Barker-ish, I can be whatever works. So there's a couple of different variations. I gave him 6 variations. And this is what's cool. I got to hire and work with another voiceover talent that I've had the pleasure of working with on a couple of other projects, Christine Myrick. Christine Myrick from Voice of Reason Studios collaborated with me on this, and you'll hear her toward the end. Again, this is just 15 seconds, so she gave me multiple versions. I gave the client multiple versions. I did multiple versions, a lot of multiples, lots and lots of multiples. No math was included, thankfully. And so anyway, let me mute myself, otherwise I get weird feedback while it's playing back. This is one of the 2 versions that I wanted to share with you. This is kind of the basic generic game show thing, vibe. And then right after that, I'll go ahead and click the other one, which is the insane, crazy Eddie kind of game show guy. And you'll hear Chris, like I said, Christine toward the end. Anyway, muting and playing. Here we go.
It's time to play 2 Truths and 1 Lie with Maggie.
Hey, what's going on with your nose?
It's time to play 2 Truths and 1 Lie with Maggie.
Hey, what's going on with your nose?
So there you go. That's just some of the fun I get to have on a weekly basis. I love it when they just kind of turn me loose. The client loved it. I'm not sure which one they used. I kind of like the wacky, the crazy guy. You know what I pictured as I listened back to it? I remember the old Muppet Show, and when Kermit the Frog that's a terrible Kermit the Frog. Don't do that. Don't offer that. No, I won't. Kermit the Frog, because you can't say Kermit the Frog. You have to say Kermit the Frog would get on there in his little suit, and he would like flail his little green arms, and he'd go crazy. And so I channeled Kermit, not in the Kermit voice, but in the crazy, maniacal, crazy Eddie Kermit the Frog voice to do that. So that was kind of fun. And again, I got to work with another voiceover talent. I edited everything, put it together. But it's always nice to collaborate with super creative people. Let me see do I have anybody out there that is asking any questions before I move on to the closing? Whoa, there are 6 live human beings right now watching. I'm not nervous. Nope. Chime in and say hi if you'd like, or ask a question. It's Friday. Hey, folks, it's 5:30 on a Friday. Yes, Ellie, we hear you, sweetheart. And there goes Watson. I don't know if he'll chime in or he'll knock the camera over on the way out. It's like a bull in a china shop that knows how to walk carefully around all the china. Oh, that's pretty ominous. Maybe I should turn on my Ring doorbell and see if there's anybody out there. Not expecting a package, but let me just make sure nobody's going to ring my doorbell. Tap to go live. Anybody out there? Nobody out there. That could have done it. Jeez, come on, bandwidth. Anyway, I listened to a fellow VO talent. Let me back up and intro this a different way. I listened to. Oh, I know what I wanted to do before I got to this. I wanted to share one more thing in Audition before I jumped out of it, and that is to share that super technical project I worked. I'm not going to play the whole stinking thing, obviously, but just to give you an example of what it was like. You go from that wacky fun game show kind of vibe to something like this. And this was part of that, the National Science Foundation, very technical. It's misbehaving again. I think it's because I exited and got back in. Okay, Ecamm Live Audio app. Now let's see. This was the revision line, a pickup I had to do. But this gives you an idea of 3,000 words of this, and this was kind of a mild scene. Here we go. I'm going to try it again. Apparently not. All right, so we'll just forget that for now and not deal with that. Ecamm can be a little flaky sometimes. So yeah, anyway, it was technical. I'll just put it that way. I don't have to play you a technical part to let you in on that. I want to transition to something interesting as I head out. And again, if there's any questions along the way as far as voiceover itself or projects or the Moolander game or anything like that, just put them in the comments section wherever you're listening, YouTube, LinkedIn, or on one of the 2 Facebook places I'm at. I listened to a podcast of a fellow voiceover talent named Dane Scott. He's a friend and just a great guy. One of the nicest voiceover guys, period, you could ever meet. And he was on a podcast with another voiceover talent, and it wasn't presented in a controversial way, but there's an ongoing thing, and it has been for at least as long as I've been on the platform, and that is for voiceover talent who work on Fiverr. Yes, the can of worms is being opened again, and I'm not going to put the lid back on. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there because what I have to state at the very end kind of nullifies all of the concerns. Now, if you're not in the voiceover world, if you're not a voiceover artist or you haven't been one for long, then you probably aren't aware of this ongoing controversy of the fact that sites like pay-to-play sites like, it's not actually a pay-to-play site, but job sites like Fiverr, because you don't have to pay to play to do it. Job sites like Fiverr and Upwork and Freelancer, and I'm sure there's others. Those are the 3 I'm aware of and that I've actually have profiles on, are driving the price of voiceover services down and have been for a number of years. And I'm here to tell you, I don't go back further than probably 8 years when I started building my business. I am non-union. I've never had a need to be in the union. I do have a couple of agency representations. So I get my work from all. So anyway, that kind of leads into the whole thing. I've been on Fiverr since March, April of 2016. So it's coming up, it's over 4.5 years, about 4.5 years. And I've done very well on Fiverr. The first year, not a lot to shout about, but from 17 on, it just ramped up like crazy. And 1 year, it was actually half my yearly income. And thankfully, that has transitioned, and it's not half. I don't like all those eggs in that one basket, if you can imagine. It's not a comfortable feeling. But at the same time, it's a wonderful thing. And so Dane was on this podcast talking to this other voiceover talent, again, who was not challenging him or saying you're a horrible person for being on Fiverr. I thought Dane handled it really, really well. I don't have the name of the podcast. But the other voiceover talent confessed at the beginning, as in full disclosure, hey, I'm also on there, but I wanted to present this question because of the controversy that surrounds a platform like Fiverr. And he did a fantastic job of explaining how to make it work. And basically, he offers some services, Dane does, that really fine-tune what are called the gigs or the offerings that you put out on Fiverr. And there are thousands of voiceover talent out there on Fiverr. Some are working starting out at the $5 price, and some are working at other levels. I do not work at the $5 price. The key to making it work is you got to have a really good demo. Just summarizing what they talked about. 2, or B, let's stick with the numbers. 1, you got to have a really good demo to put out there to show to people. 2, you got to get noticed. You got to have an appealing thumbnail, just like on YouTube when people are looking for videos. You got to get noticed. So you got to have that for you. You got to have some good, what I'll call SEO or good search terms in your gigs, whether it's male voiceover or American voiceover or American male voiceover or voice talent or voice actor, whatever. You got to have those key things going on in your gig. And the fourth thing is your prices have to be competitive based on your experience level that you are presenting to that client. Another factor that falls into play, and I found this across the board, not just on Fiverr, and I'm coming to the end of this because it's about 5:37, and I've still got 6 people watching. Phenomenal. I don't know. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you. But the live folks, right here. Thank you for taking the time and spending Friday afternoon with me, Eder and Meander. But let me tell you, buds and budettes, yeah. If I didn't have this, I'd be meandering down some crazy rabbit trails. So, did I mention I got a new printer? It's pretty cool. So anyway, where's I going with that? Even with a script, I can meander. Fiverr, yeah. So you've got to get noticed. You got to have a good demo, and you've got to have good prices that are in line with your experience level. And the other thing is, and this again goes across the board that I've discovered, I work with a lot of clients from outside of the United States, Europe, Asia, Australia, every continent I've found out. Africa, am I leaving one out? Antarctica. That's the only one I haven't worked with. I'm pretty sure I left somebody out. Anyway, countries all over the world, and budgets are all over the place. And, you have to be comfortable doing work at a level that's like, okay, if a client says to you let's just throw out an example, in the Middle East, it could be anywhere, but let's say in the Middle East, they come to you and they say, we've got this 5,000 word project, and this is our budget. It's like $200 or $300. Now, right off the bat, I know that that's so well below my rates that I'm not going to do it because I know how much time it takes. I know how many hours it takes to edit. I know a lot of times I'm having to proof. I proof every script, but I charge extra for that if it's blatantly bad. And again, I'm not isolating or singling out Middle Eastern clients. I'm just saying, for example, it could be European clients. It could be anybody that's not a native English speaker. That can be a consideration. So on Fiverr specifically, because I've been talking about that, the expectations or the value or the budgets may be very different across a platform. Hey, Ellie, what is your deal? She's like trying to pull back the acoustical curtain back there. Don't do that. I'll be done here in a minute. Now, let me finish my story, please. Okay. People aren't going to believe what you're... No, yeah, that's it. Run off, mad. Anyway, so the budgets are all over the place, but you got to have some sort of bottom line figure that you're going to work for because you know what your time is worth, or you should know what your time is worth. So all that being said, I was talking about I have had good success. I think that it's time to just dispel all the controversy and just face the facts that the world has changed in voiceover, that things are not the way they used to be. They're not going to go back to the way they used to be. The rates of old, while that still exists for certain markets and certain genres of production, union and non-union, those projects still do exist. There is a whole world of opportunities available on sites like Fiverr Are you getting into the wiring now? Hey! Now she's messing with the wiring on the other side of the room. So if the router and the modem suddenly gets yanked down. She's got attitude today. And you're distracting me. People need to see you doing this. People need to see you doing this. This is what I have to deal with. I want people to see this. This is Ellie underneath the wiring table. I don't know if you can see this. I've got a... Oh, come on, straighten up. There we go. There's Ellie under the wiring table. Get out of there. There's a UPS and up there is another Mac, and the router and modem are over there. And Ellie is suspiciously under there doing something. Not sure what. So anyway, yeah, I got to keep an eye on her and kind of focus on what I'm doing. Let me just wrap this thing up because it's 5:42. And I'm probably going to lose some people here in a second, not getting to the point. There is definitely good money to be made on that platform, on Fiverr, if you know how to make it work. And I just looked at my August numbers on the phone app, and I hope I don't freeze myself up again. And launch. Yep. There's still one more day in the billing cycle after Friday, but I will have surpassed my all-time gross income on Fiverr. And again, people are saying, since I began this journey 4.5 years ago, and so consistency, delivering great customer service, delivering an excellent product, over-delivering, delivering quicker than you promised, basically just doing all the common sense stuff you should do on Fiverr or any platform working direct. It's just good common sense to treat people amazingly well and deliver an exceptional end product, no matter what you're doing. And so when it's all said and done, again, don't let this number freak you out. I'm not bragging. I'm giving the glory to God, seriously, for this month of August with the amazing projects I've had. I like to tell people my CEO, my CFO, my finance manager is the Holy Spirit. And I do not make it, I don't shy away from my faith, and I don't shy away from just confessing that. I couldn't do all this. So at the end of the month, the way it's tracking right now, it will come close to or exceed $12,000 just on Fiverr alone, because I have focused in on making that platform work. $12K this month, in the month of August. It's been a crazy month. And that's not the norm. It is usually less. It's always been less than that because I'm on track again to break that record of all-time income set on Fiverr on a monthly basis. So, yeah, I mean, don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to the folks that tell you you can't do something because they don't do something. I guess this is the overall core lesson or core thought I want to pass on as we head into the weekend. Don't let other people rain on your parade. If you see a non-traditional way to do something, if you see some people having success and you're like, I think I want to try that, enter into it, give it a shot, see how it's working. But again, this controversy just needs to be put to bed. It needs to be put to rest. There are people making very good money on Fiverr doing voiceover and other things, but specifically the voiceover community just needs to find something else to complain about. And I don't usually like to ruffle feathers or open cans of worms. Oh, where did that phrase come from? But I just, given where the numbers are at the end of this month and having just listened to Dane Scott's interview on the podcast, explaining it so eloquently and far better than I could, it's time to put it to bed. It's time to put it to bed, y'all. It's just time to let it go. So yeah, that's basically all I got. Turn you down, son. Turn you down, son. So yeah, as we head into the last weekend of August, just wanted to say thank you for joining me for my VoiceOver Weekly Stew, whether on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, if you're watching the replay, thank you. Thank you for taking some time out to share this with me. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining, a little educational, not really sure. Edutational, infotainment, I don't know what it was. So anyway, it's about 5:45 on the east, 2:45 out there in the west. I'm going to be checking out of here. You guys have a blessed and amazing weekend. Get out and do something. I'm booked all day Saturday, but I'm enjoying Sunday. I'm going to set that apart and enjoy it, and back at it Monday. So you guys be blessed. Be a blessing to somebody. I've run out of things to talk about. See you guys later. Ellie Mae. I better go let the dog